muted. Thank you very much. Recording in progress. Got it. Share screen. Okay. I assume that right now you can all see my Canva screen. Just move that out the way. So when you come onto Canva, this is kind of what you see in front of you. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
You are. You're seeing my Canva screen. Thank you very much. So as you get onto Canva, this is kind of what you see in front of you. So I'll just run through all the buttons again. Along the top, there's your home page. There's all your templates. If you want to create a particular template, almost anything. Let me just go back to home. Sorry about that. Come on, Canva, don't be slow today. There's basically a template for almost anything at the moment that you can think of, from invitations to marketing to education to trending to presentations, anything you want. If you're looking for your features like your photos, your icons, your apps, all the adders, you'll find that there. There's this wonderful thing here called Learn, where you can actually go and do your own Canva courses there. There's some great guys to follow. There's some people on Facebook that I'd recommend. There's Canva learning groups. And also then the pricing, if you haven't joined yet, I highly recommend the Pro. Unbelievable. Sorry. On the left-hand side, the home, this is kind of where you'll arrive. You can push that home button anywhere. If you click the recent design button, all the designs you've made recently will all pop up over there. If you've got projects, you can always create projects. So for example, I have projects for my clients. I have their templates here. I have their folders. I try and keep everyone in the same kind of folder. Then I can look at everything that's shared with me. If people have sent me logos and sent me designs, I'll find them over here. I can then also look at my trash, my brand kits, my content planner, everything's on the side there. So let's get back to the home. So what I'm going to do today, because I'm going to assume that all of you have got some knowledge of that I'm not starting from the beginning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a brand from you from start. And the very first thing you'd want when you created a brand is you'd have to create a logo. So there are different ways to find along here. You might want to try there. You can see my mouse rolling over the logo. I can create a blank one. I can also go to templates. At templates, I'll then find logos. There's logos over there. Or when I click on templates, then you'll see everything come up. Sorry if Canva is a little slow from day to day. There's logos again. Or I can go to the top right-hand side here. I can click Create Design, and then I can find a logo, or I can even create a custom design size if something I want to do. But for the sake of this morning, what we are going to do is we're going to create an entire brand from scratch, and we're going to create a logo. So what I wouldn't mind is a suggestion from anyone out there, what kind of brand you'd like to see, or I'm going to guess one for myself. But if there's someone who's got something, little idea in mind, give me a shout and let's see if I can build a brand for someone quickly.
Trevor, would you like us to use you?
That would be great. Thanks, Tracy.
Okay.
Okay, Trevor, give me a little bit of background about your business quickly so everyone can hear it.
Okay, so I sell gadgets, technology. It's all gadgets which you typically wouldn't find in a store here, or many of them. So smart home devices like the Amazon Alexa, well, the Amazon Echo speaker, also known as Alexa. Google have one called the Nest Hub. I sell also virtual reality headsets, that kind of thing.
Okay, great. So you're basically are you online only, or you have a hard store? You have a bricks and mortar?
Online only. I don't have a physical store.
Okay, so no problem. So we're going to build a quick store for Trevor, and we do know that he deals in gadgets. So the first thing I want to do on the logo templates is I'm actually just going to search for the word gadget and see what pops up. So there's a couple of really nice ones over there. So what I would do for a client is I'd probably pick a few. I'd pick a few different logos. On the bottom here, I'll add a page. So I'm keeping them all in the same thing. I'll go back to gadgets. I quite like that one. There's something quite funky about that one. I'll add another page. I'm just going to pick 3 to choose from. Gadgets. Which one do I like? Okay, let's go with the VR one. Okay, so I'll look at these 3, and then I'll. Trevor, what's the name of your company?
Gadget Store.
Sorry,
it's Gadget Store, which is one word with capital G, capital S.
Gadget Store. So there we go. Simple as that. Gadget Store, premium quality products. What I could do is I could ask Trevor for some colors that he prefers. And then I'll look at different colors. I know that Trevor, if I remember correctly, likes black backgrounds. So let's give this one a black background. And if we're going to have black background, we better bring out some colors that stand out against black. And change that color. You'll see as my mouse is moving around, I'm changing that color. And what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to call it premium online store. So what I would do is I'd send my client a number of different logos. I'd ask them to have a look at them until they finally decide that they want one. And for the sake of just keeping things a bit fast, we're going to assume that Trevor has approved the logo that I've sent him over there. He's decided that's it, Gadget Store, online store. Now, the next thing I know is that there are going to be times when I want my logo to be square, and there are times when I want my logo to be more rectangular. So for that reason, I'm going to click the button over here, which is duplicate page. And there you'll see a copy of the page below it, which means I'm not going to play with the original page. I'm going to play with this one. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to move this over here. And I'm going to take, now I want these 2 to move together. So I'm going to click on Gadget Store, hold down my Shift key and click on Premium Store. And I'm going to, at the top there, you'll see my mouse goes to a button called Group. I'm grouping those together so that they work together. And I'm going to pop them there. I'm using the bottom line as the guideline. So there we go. So now what I've done is I've created 2 different logos. One of them I might use, for example, when I am building a website, which I might want a longer logo. And the other one at the top there is when I'm using a square logo. Once I've approved these 2 logos with my client, we've decided that he's happy with the 2 of them, I'll then save these 2 logos. So the first thing I'm going to do is press download. I'm going to download them as a PNG. Oh, sorry, let me just up there. There's the name, Gadget Store. So I'll rename that Gadget Store logo. So it's easy for me to find when I need it. And I'm going to download those 2 as a PNG. You'll see at the bottom there, it says Gadget Store, export downloaded. What else I'm going to do is I'm now going to download them as a transparent PNG. In other words, you won't be able to see the black, so that I can use that logo when I want to overlay it on anything else. So I hit download again. There's PNG, and I hit transparent background. Now, this is only available for pro users. There are workarounds. You can find a background remover online. Then you'd have to upload the picture and have the background removed. But this is one of the main reasons where I highly recommend using Pro is just this PNG, this transparent PNG. So now I'm going to go there. I'm going to logo trans so that I know that it's transparent.
Mark,
I'm not referring to, yes.
Why do you download as a PNG as opposed to a JPEG?
It's a better quality image than a JPEG. It actually, when you need to increase it or decrease it, a JPEG's a very, downgraded piece of image. In fact, if I'm building on a website, I'd actually try and even save it as an SVG file, which then resizes itself, no matter how I use it. But a PNG is strong enough, and I always recommend a PNG over a JPEG. And also for the reason is you cannot have a transparent JPEG. You can only have a transparent PNG.
Are there no downsides on most of the platforms by using a PNG?
Not at all. They'll all take a PNG, and they'll all look as good as any JPEG.
Okay.
So you're certainly not going to get a downgraded version. If you want, you can even increase the size over here. You'll see that it says size. I can double its size, but for the sake of this, I'm not going to. I'm now going to just download it as transparent. So now I've downloaded 2 files. Here they are sitting over here. And the way for me to see them is I can either right click there and just go to show in folder. It'll take me to my download folder. Use the pictures of some other clients over there. And now what I'm doing is I'm going to right click on it, show more options. And I use 7-zip, so I'm extract to the Gadget Store logo. That one's extracted. This one here, I'm going to do the same thing. Show more options. 7-zip, extract to Gadget Store transparent. Now, somewhere at the bottom here, they are Gadget Store logo and Gadget Store transparent. So the first thing I'm going to do with these is I'm actually just go to the transparent one. There they are. I'm going to highlight both of them and I'm going to drop them straight into my Canva. They're going to appear there in my upload files. Did only one of them come through? Which one came through? Let me just go back there to that folder. Oh, yeah, only one came through. There's the other one. Drag that. I have both logos sitting there in my downloads. I can at this stage, if I like, actually even go to all my folders. You'll find a button there called folders. And in folders, I can create a new folder. I'm going to name it Gadget Store. One word, mustn't forget that. I can share this with other members or other people if they've got Canva accounts. I could actually share this with you at the moment if that worked for you, but I'm going to just create that folder. Now I've created a folder. I'm going to select files. Let's go to downloads. Although they are there already, I'll just put them in again. I'm going to add those 2 files. And I want to add some more files. Upload. Those are the transparent ones. So it's just, I must tell you that I am a little bit lazy, so I often don't do this. And when I don't do it, I actually get angry with myself because it makes life so much simpler if I can find everything in the same place. So especially those of you that are a lot more organized than you, which would actually be everyone, I'm going to highly recommend that you start using you start using folders as much as you possibly can. Now I have a Gadget Store logo. So the next thing I want to do is I actually want to build a Gadget Store business card. So I can search for business card and there will be a business card square and there'll be a business card over there. But what I like to do is I like to find out who's going to print my business cards for me. And I always use the same company and I get no commission from them once again. I use someone called 24-Hour Business Cards. They're situated in Marlborough Business Park out that way, Limbro Business Park. They're fast, they're efficient, they do good cards at a good price. But I'm sure there are a million people, including if there's anyone online right now who does business cards, please feel free to post your details in the chat. And I'll recommend anyone from Ort to do the cards from now on. So if you are a printer or you do business cards, please feel free to add it to chat. Don't worry about advertising, you're more than welcome to. So there's the business cards at the moment. I'm just going to use a blank business card. And there what it's done is it's given me the template already for a blank business card. I can look at the size by clicking on the resize button. And I know that this is basically 850 millimeters by 50 millimeters. Now, there are other sizes. For example, there's 90 by 60. And 90 by 60 is more like a credit card. They've actually become more popular to make 90 by 60 cards than it is to make 8 by 5 by 5 cards. So it's very much up to you and your printer and what you've decided you want to use. But for the sake of this exercise, we're simply going to build a business card the way they do it over there. So there's my template. So the first thing I want to do is put on a background. We're going to use the same background that we used last time, which is no, not that one. We're going to use the black background. Did we use plain black or off black? We'll go the slightly off black one. So now I have my card over here, and the next thing I'm going to do is I want to import the logo. So I can go down to Gadget Store. There it is. There's the one that I want. Pop that in there. There's the Gadget Store logo. I resize it by dragging and dropping as I want. I tend to use the guides as much as possible. Gadget Store, there we go. Now I want to put some details. Let's go back up here. Let's find text. Let me tell you something else quickly. I didn't check. I could have changed the font. So this is an Open Sans extra bold that I've used. So I want to know that so that when I do my business card, I'm going to use the same font. So there's a heading. Let's just make that really small. Let's make it about 20, maybe even less. About 16. A little big for what we want, but let's start with that. I'll make it even a bit smaller. You can drag and drop here. That's how you increase or decrease the size. Or you can be very specific by going up there and putting in a number, like, for example, 13. Now, one of the things I really want to try and do is I want to try and line up the top of my lettering with the top of the top over there. So what I really want to do, and I have to try and remember this because I can't even remember heading. Show you the ruler. Isn't that a bit off of me? Can't actually believe I've forgotten how to do this, but it'll come to me as we're going along, I promise you. So one of the things I could do is I can drag a line around. Let's search quickly in the, okay, add a heading. So for now, unfortunately, I'm going to be guessing. And I'm going to type in Trevor Levy, L-E-V-Y, L-E-V-Y. Not easy, Trevor Levy. First thing I want to do is I want to make that in the same font that I had before, which was that, what was the font? Open Sans extra bold. So I go back there, I type in Open Sans extra bold. There it is. So now I've got Trevor Levy there. I can decide I want to make that just a little bit bigger because he's the main dude in the whole thing. No. Okay, let's put Trevor's email address. So now I'm going to go back to my logo because I want to go and find again what that bottom one was. There we are. That's Open Sans Light. So I want to use the same fonts all the time. So add a subheading. I know this one. I want this to be Open Sans Light. Store co.za. Line that up there. Bring that in a bit because we want to try and keep everything as uniform as possible. Now I've got a size for that one. Number 082449737. Don't even try phone that. I haven't had that phone number for years. And what I want to do is I want to right justify. So I'll click there and put a right justify. In fact, those even look a little bit too big for me. Let's keep them in a little bit. Over there. And also what I want to do is I want to have a little bit more space between the two. So I'm click on that. I look here for line spacing, and there's line spacing. All I'm going to do is increase the white space, or in this case, black space between those two letters. There we go. Then I want to do the address. Now, in order to make this a bit quicker for myself, all I'm going to do is go there. On the top right, there's a button there that says duplicate. I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to line it up with everything else. I'm going to use this as the address. PO Box 79731. Senderwood. 2197. Now, what I might do with that is decide that, assuming this is not quite as important, I'm going to even make that one a bit smaller. Now I've got kind of hierarchy. I've got the name, the email address, and the phone number that I want. In fact, because this is an online store, I'm joining these two together. I'm going to just drag this down a bit. Line it up with the Trevor. Because this is an online store, the website's probably more important than anything else. So I'll go www.gadgetstore.co.za. Make sure that's nicely lined up. Make sure that's nicely lined up. My logo, I can actually make that logo just a little bit bigger. I want it to be right in the middle, so I'm going to drag it until I get that blue line. These here, I'm just going to put them all together as a group and move them across a little bit. Line it up with the top there. Line it up with the bottom there, trying to keep everything as lined up as possible. Here we go, business card created. I can do things, for example, I can go into Gadget Store and I can make this one yellow. If I feel that stands out a bit more. Anything you want, you can change the colors, change things. I could even bring in a little box around it. I can go to my elements. I'll type in the word frame. Sorry?
Just a question. If you're working with a text string, you can't change just one word in that text string to be a different color or different font.
So, for example, if I want what? Store.
Yeah, if you want the store to be a different font or different color, just to highlight it.
I can certainly change the color. I don't think you can change the font.
Yeah.
But then the workaround, for example, would be
two text boxes.
Yeah, exactly. Two text boxes lined up next to each other.
Yeah.
So there is always a workaround. This is not Photoshop, so it might not have all the features. But that's kind of where we are right now with that. Then what I also do is I look at the card and I go, okay, how about if I had a elongated card as opposed to one of these cards? I might want to look at that. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to hit the resize button over here. And I'm going to change this to 8.5. And now there's a button.
You said 8 by 8.5.
Sorry. No, I actually had the problem is I had it in pixels, not in centimeters. 5. 8.5. And I'm going to hit the copy and resize. I don't want to resize. I don't want to lose my original. I'm going to hit the copy and resize. And it's automatically going to generate another version of that card for me. There it is. I can look at this one and I can just move this around. Possibly a little more modern and more funky. Those together. Down here. See, I'm using the constraints of that box just to try and keep everything kind of together. And most of the time, what I would do is I would send both these versions to my client and ask them which of the two they liked or if they wanted any changes. In fact, these are definitely too big. I can see that already it's not playing nicely on my eye. So we're just going to bring them in a little bit. Use the center to justify it. And then I would send these off to Trevor. Hello, Trevor. How are you? Which of these do you prefer? I know you like the long cards. And I'd rename that Gadget Store Card Portrait. I'll rename this one Gadget Store Card landscape. The more clear you are, the easier it is to find stuff a bit later on. So let's say that's it. Trevor loves that one. There's his gadget store. We've got his colors. We've got everything. I hit download. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this as a print ready PDF. There we are, high quality multi-page document. That, download it. There it is at the bottom there. Let me just click on it to open it for you. There's the card, almost in the exact size it'll be. I can look at it now and say, wait, that writing's way too small. I can make little changes. I can see how I feel it's going to print. I certainly can't read gives me an option to have a look now. I can go back and I can change the card. But just for the sake of speed today, I'm not going to make any changes on the card. And once you're ready with that, you'll send that off to the printer and they can print directly from that. So now we've got a logo, we've got a credit card, we've got a business card. And the next thing Trevor wants to do is create a Facebook page for himself. So we're going to build him a Facebook cover page. Go back here to the logos. And one thing I need to warn you about Facebook business page, all Facebook sizes, they change every single year. I'm going to go to create design. Then I'm going to search for Facebook. Wait for all the Facebook options to come up. And what I'm building here is I'm building a Facebook cover page. There it is, 1640 by 924. That's what they're recommending at the moment. So that's going to be my Facebook cover page. One thing that I really have learned about Facebook cover pages is that they don't always translate perfectly between a mobile and a desktop. So what I try and do is I try and give myself, and I'm just quickly create a little element for you so you can see it. What I try and do is I try and create a little bit of space for myself in the middle here where I keep all the information. I don't mind if the picture, excuse me, I'm about to sneeze, I think. I don't mind if the picture itself goes outside of that, but I'm going to try and make sure that anything important, sorry, excuse me, everything important and my logo appears in that space. I might stretch it out a little bit, but not much. I really want to, it's just kind of a warning for myself. The nice thing with Facebook is I can actually, or with Canva, is I can leave that there. I can just make it a little bit transparent, and I'm actually going to remove it later on before I take away the picture. So the first thing I'll do is find a really nice background image. So I'm going to go to Photos, go to Gadgets, to see what kind of pictures they have for me under Gadgets. Is anything I really like? Obviously, I'll be doing this usually in conjunction with my clients. What I might always do is send them to Canva, ask them to find the kind of images that they like. But for now, these are not really.
Would you never have a copyright image with images on Canva like done?
No, never. Canva have paid everyone for these images. So the one thing I've never found, they're all free to, if you can get it on Canva, they are free to use for you. That's one of the reasons why I really love Canvas. In other words, if I were to go now to Google and search for gadget and go to images and go to tools, go to size large. I just want to make sure it is a big enough picture. You should always do that first so that you're not looking at these tiny little images. Then when I find images here, the problem is that a lot of them, for example, this one over here, is probably licensed to someone who's using it already. or this one over here, best tech gifts. This is a collage that's been made by someone. That'll probably be on their website. So my suggestion is that you go to back there, you go through the images here, and you look through the images.
Sorry to interrupt, Mike.
No problem.
Your mic is echoing a little bit. I'm not sure why.
My mic's echoing. Okay. Let me try to turn down some stuff for you. Any better? Bring it a bit closer.
There's still a slight crackle.
Absolutely no idea what's causing this morning.
It's gone. It's gone now.
Okay, let's try. Let's hope. So I'll look through gadgets. If I don't like gadgets, maybe I'll find something under electronics. Kind of the same thing. I don't want to spend too much time here, but I'm going to use this one for just because it's got some nice colors or whatever. And then I right click on it and I set background image. Now I have a background image. I also have this little thing. Let's just make it a bit bright so I can see it. That's kind of my working area that I want there. So the first thing obviously that I want to do is I want to bring in the logo. I go down to Gadget Store. There's the logo. I'm going to pop that over there. I'm going to work within the constraints that I've set to myself. And in fact, what I might do is take this red bar. I'm going to change its color to black. And I'm actually going to just darken it slightly. So I am giving myself a band to work within that where everything will stand out. And then what I want to do is put in some text. Let's call this South Africa's leading online gadget store. Back to the fonts we were using earlier, which was Open Sans Extra Bold. There it is. Line that up. Just go with the middle. I can then decide if I want to keep that color the same or if I want to make it the yellow. I'll look at both of them and then decide from there. So what I might do is I might duplicate this. Here's at the bottom. I'll make this one white. And then I myself will actually flick between them and see which one kind of stands out for me. And I'm kind of leaning towards the white one at the moment, just because it draws my eye away from the logo onto a kind of thing. And then I'm going to give it an effect. I'm just going to add just a little bit of lift to it. You might not notice it, but it will stand out just fractionally more. One more thing I'm going to do, instead of lining it up in the middle, I'm going to try and line it up with the top of that one over there. I want to add one button to this. I'm going to go into my elements and I'm going to type in order now. See what comes up. See if there's something that I like. Order now button. Middle there. The really nice thing about this particular order now button, if you look at the top right here, you can see that the colors are changeable. So I'm going to click that one and make that one my yellow. I'm going to click the darker green. I'm going to make it my yellow as well, but now I'm going to go into colors over here and I'm actually going to darken it slightly by dragging this down. And you'll see that at the bottom of the order now button, I'm actually creating that little shadow. So it now looks more like a button. There we go. Now we have an order now button, South Africa's leading gadget store. I could do anything. I could add a phone number if I wanted. I could put the website there, but chances are they're already on they're already there. There are other buttons I can look at. You'll find plenty of them. Add to cart, sell, Here's some recommendations under magic recommendations.
Can you put a link to a button or not?
You can't put a link on an image.
Okay.
Just remember that the only way in Facebook to add a link is to actually put it in the description. So what I might want to type in right now is, let's put it underneath here. Visit our website. Excuse my spelling. www.gadgetstore.co.za. Let's move that up there a little bit. Make sure it's in the middle. Oh, the really nice thing about Canva is you can see that broken line there is telling me that I am now lining everything up, which is very, very pleasing on the eye and much easier to do. So it'd be nice if I put a dot in there. So there I've got my kind of cover page that I need. I could make it a bit fancy. I could bring in even a couple of gadgets. I can go back to photos, type in gadget. Now I'm going to type in something else, gadget. I'm going to put in cut out. Now what I'm looking for is gadgets that don't have backgrounds. You can see all of these are PNG files with no backgrounds. So if I can find one that I do like, let's say this one, for example, pop that in there. There. Add that to it. Let's see, there's another one that I like. Maybe this one over here. Only problem is it's facing the wrong way. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it on the horizon. I want it to come in from the other corner. Waiting for it to, see, I'm waiting for it to line up with the same height as the other image. I'm going to move that kind of across there. Because it's in the way of our logo, I'm going to position backwards. Doesn't quite work for me. I might actually have to move, for the sake of this, I might actually have to move the logo up a little bit. Even make the logo a bit smaller. Let's actually move that hand out a little bit more in line with the other hand. There we are. I've created an online store. What I might do right now, I often do this with my clients. I'm going to delete that one. I'm going to duplicate this one. And for this, I'm now going to go back to my gadgets. I'm going to find another image. For example, this one over here. Replace background. And I'm going to put that one in the background. And I might do this a number of times. If it's for yourself, what you might actually do with them is you might just save 5 or 6 or 7 of them. Replace background. And you can save all of these yourself. And then what you'll do is you'll be changing your cover page every couple of days or once a week or once a month. You'll change your cover page. You have them all stored. You've made them all already. It's not even a matter of coming back and having to think. So I'm quite liking this. I'll go back there, look for even another gadget one. Not sure if you do drones, but let's just assume that you do, just for fun. Place background. There we go. I might even try for this one. I'll remove that one. Stands out even more. So now in a couple of seconds, I've created 4 Facebook cover pages that I can use. Why did I lose that one? Actually wanted that to be on the bottom. It's obviously working at the wrong time. No, let's not. So my mouse, for some reason, is giving me a bit of aggravation. It's double clicking at the moment, but that's actually where I wanted it. That's actually where I wanted that one. So now I want to duplicate that on both of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shift and shift press Control C. I can go down here and I can highlight that one and highlight that one and remove them. Press Control V and pop them, the other ones, in where I want them. Delete that one, Control V, back in there, and all of them. Oh, why is this one giving me so much aggravation today? Okay, now I've done my cover page. I go to downloads. As I say, I'll always save them as a PNG. You're more than welcome to save as a JPEG. It's just a smaller size file. PNGs are always high quality images. There they are. Online gadget store. And this is, I'm going to rename this first so I can find it. Gadget store, Facebook. I'm going to teach you another little trick here. I can actually rename each image. So this one I'm going to name Eric. This one I'm going to rename products.
Mark,
Yeah.
when you download it,
Sorry.
when you download it,
I'm not sure if someone's talking. I can't hear anything at the moment.
can you hear me?
Very, very faint.
Okay, I don't know why. Can you hear me
No.
now?
Now I can perfectly.
Okay, so I'm saying when you're downloading, is it better to download PDF prints or PNG and you're going to send through to printers?
If you're sending it to the printers, always send them a print-ready PDF. Because what that does is it locks all the files in place, and it locks the fonts into the font that you want. The problem with a printer, if you send them a PNG or a JPEG or something else, they then, often when it gets to their side, the fonts aren't right. So when sending to a printer, I'll always download PDF print quality. But because this is Facebook, I'm going to press download there. I'm going to download the 4 images. Sorry, it's because they're 4 biggish images there. As you're downloading. Once again, here they appear. I'll show in folder. There's my folder. I'm going to extract them all to their own folder. Just store Facebook cover. There it is. I'll double click on it. There they are. I've renamed them already. They're not named 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the drone one. That's the generic one. That's the product one. That's the VR set. Now, when I go to Facebook, I just upload them as I like in the order that I want. So that should give you that's your Facebook logo taken care of. At the same time, what I really want to do is I want to create some Instagram posts that look like this at the same time as well. I might as well put these on Instagram as well. Now, I can use the same size on Instagram and use that little button with the 2 arrows, which will narrow it down. But I actually want to make these Instagram size. So I'm going to click resize over here. And then I'm going to look for Insta. And I want them to be Instagram posts. And I want to copy and resize. In other words, once again, I don't want to lose what I've got. I want to create something new. So I copy and resize. Now they'll all come out as square. There they are. I can just save that as Instagram. Now, my only challenge here is that everything is now such a different size. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to work on one of them. I'm going to remove everything. So what I do is I take my mouse just outside the box. I hold my mouse down and I highlight everything at the same time and I delete them. Same here. Sorry, Control Z. My mouse is playing up a little bit. delete them. Outside there, delete them. Go back to the one that I'm going to work on. Because this is Instagram now, I'm going to kind of move things around. I'm going to get rid of that background. In fact, let's not, because it actually does work for me a little bit. Let's move this hand down here. I've got a bit more space to play with. Move this hand down here to make sure it's the same size. I'm going to wait for it to actually find that fingertip. There it is. Now I know it's the same size. This can go here. In fact, because this is visit our website, let me just make this a little bit bigger for you. Position, bring it all the way forward. Forward, there it is. Make the size a bit lower. Visit our website. And because everyone does this on Insta, delete link in my bio. That seems to be a pretty standard Insta thing. Let's use there's a nice size. Nice size. Let's bring these two here. The order button right in the middle. Make everything a bit bigger. Back to the middle. Gadget store over there. Middle. There we go. That should come down a bit there. And this thing here, we can actually just make it the size of the, just so that the fonts stand out. So there I've created my page. Now what I want to do is I want to duplicate it onto the different things. So once again, I put my mouse outside here, I hold down and I just highlight everything. Now I can just go Control C, which is copy. Go down to this one over here, click on it and press Control V. Go down to this one and press Control V. Go down to this one here and press Control V. So once again, I've created my first 4 Instagram posts in just a matter of minutes. At least I've got stuff standing by as I want to start populating it. I might do different things on them. For example, on this one over here, I might say, I might add something. So let's just quickly do a little element. I'm looking for a badge. Kind of something like that. Let's pop it up there. Make sure it's the color that I want it to be, which is that one over there, because we're using our colors. Then I'm going to get some text. Stock. It's now in stock. For a bit of effect, I'm just going to tilt that slightly. See there, I found the middle of everything. It's now in stock. Let's add a bit of lift to that. There we go. What I can do is I can actually group these two together. Turn them into a group. That way, if I move the size or the place, I don't have to worry about both of them. I can make it a bit smaller. I can even, sorry, let's go Control C. There's actually our drones. Control V. Here, I'm going to put VR headsets. Stock. I need to ungroup those so I can play with this one. I duplicated one of these. Oh, I changed the size of it. That's what I did.
Spelling's wrong.
What's that?
Headsets.
Thank you. Believe me, That's something I've done a million times before.
Yeah, but then you can't.
Elements. Headsets there. Headsets. I want to make this thing really fancy. I could actually take that VR headset thing. I'm going to duplicate it. Just waiting the duplicate button. I'm going to make it black. I'm going to move it behind. Using my, now I'm going to just position it. There that I want to position. I'm actually using my arrow keys. I've created a kind of lift or shadow effect on it. I could even drop the transparency a little bit, just so it stands out. So now we've created our first, we've created a couple of pages, we've created a couple of cover pages, created a couple of Instagram, and now we're going to actually create our very first advert for something that we're going to sell particularly. So I'm going to go back to home. And because I'm going to sell it on Facebook, I'm going to use a Facebook. So I'm actually going to build a Facebook post. I simply click on Facebook post, and it automatically gives me the ideal size for a Facebook post. Just wait for it to open. Now I can actually go look through the templates and see if there's something here that I want to look at. I can search for sale. Copy something. Copy that one. I can just put it in there.
So when you're searching here, it's still gonna link into a Facebook post, even though it doesn't say so in the search. But search.
Yes, because I'm already there, Neil.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
So whatever I search for, it's going to give it to me in that format.
Okay, as long as you selected it beforehand.
Yes, yes. So now I'm going to remove that, and I'm actually going to go and look for a photo. I'm going to look for a drone cutout. Just because I really don't want to search too long, but let's say it's that one. Pop that one in there, the size that I want. Oh, sometimes when you move something around and want to become the background, how you prevent that is by holding down your control key. Then you move it. So there's my let go. I'll put here racing drones. I want them to be one line, so I'm just going to drag it out until I get a looking for guidelines. There's a guide. Guide, then I know it's always racing drones. Now, stock. Once again, I might just want to make that wide enough to keep everything on the same line. So I can use the outside lines to make sure that everything's kind of lined up. Let's bring this down a little bit. Because I actually want to make racing drones a bit bigger. Because that's really the hero. Racing drones now in stock. Shop now, sell up to thing, take that out. Go back to our logo. So I can find our logo. There's our logo. Now what I want to do with our logo, I'm going to take this, I'm going to duplicate it. Now I've got the same one again. Let's say I want to use this one. I'm going to remove the background. I'm going to change this color to black. Change this color to black. And you'll see there's a button here that says change all. If I press change all, it changes all of them. The problem is it changes them in the whole document. So I don't recommend you change all when you're using different documents. I'm just going to change the color of that one. Now I've got this logo. And I'm going to download only page 3 because that's the only one I want. I'll click on page 3. I'm going to download this as a transparent PNG. Download it.
You can only do that on the Pro, hey?
on the Pro for transparent. That's for me, that's probably the number one reason just to pay for Pro is the transparent PNG, because it changes your life for you.
Yeah.
And also the background remover. So I'm just going to drop that in there. The problem is it's very hard to see because it's a black one, but I do know it's there and kind of see when my mouse goes over it. I'm going to go back to racing drones. I'm going to go back to Gadget Store. This time I'm going to bring in a black logo because I've already got a yellow background. It wouldn't have stood out. Let's even put it on the side there. Make it a bit bigger. And it wouldn't have stood out if I tried to use the same one. What I can do with the yellow, if I really want to get, is I can go in here and I can change it to that same yellow that I've created. So at least I'm keeping my whole brand. I'm having some consistency in it. The Shop Now button, I'll actually make that a little bit bigger. Not standing out enough for me. It's in the middle. Move that up a little bit, sale up to 30% off. I could do more things here. I can add more things to it. But actually, when it comes to creating adverts and creating calls to action, less is more. What have I got? I've got an image. I've got the fact that I've got racing drones. I'm telling you that they're now in stock, and I want you to go shopping. And that's as simple as that. I've created my first ad. Now, let's say I really like this. I love this idea of this black background, the yellow. No problem. This is our racing drones advert. What I can simply do now is I can duplicate this page. There's the duplicate page again. I can remove the drone. And now I can put in, let's go back to photos. Photos. I want, what else do we sell there? Keyboard. Keyboard out. What a nice keyboard. Control button, because obviously he wants to mess me around a bit. Z. Oh man. Wrong image there. Control. I actually like it. Give you some idea of what I could. Let's say we're selling these keyboards. That's just better because it's more graphically pleasing on my eye. Control button so it doesn't mess me around. Bring it in a bit from the end. Here, music. Keyboards. Just ended. Collection, sale up to 5%. So now what I'm starting to do is I'm starting to build up some kind of brand identity. And people will come to realize that whenever they see this particular pattern, I'm probably having a sale at that particular time. And that's another very important thing, that you don't go from blue to black to yellow, change where everything is. People will quickly get used to this is how all your adverts are done, and it will catch their eye. Duplicate it again. Put in there. What do we call that thing? Is it Google Alexa? Mr. Levy?
Yes, Mark?
Is it Google Alexa? Who makes Alexa?
Alexa is Amazon.
Alexa. Available. A. That one. Now I'm going to see if I can find an Alexa.
Like it's actually called an Amazon Echo, but yeah, that is.
Oh, no problem. Echo.
Yes.
ECHO.
Correct.
Just make that a bit smaller because we always want it to be a little bit smaller. And there is an Amazon Right, we have a little problem here. It has a white background. I don't like the background. So I'm going to click on a button here called Edit Image. And there's something there called Background Remover. I'm going to hit that. Also available only in the Pro, unfortunately. And I'm going to let Canva do its magic.
Do not have search for Echo Cutout or Alexa Cutout.
I could have tried, but this is just as easy for me because I found the one that I wanted. Control button. I just want to make sure that that chord doesn't look like it stops in the middle of nowhere. And there we are. We've now created a Alexa one. Sorry, an Echo one. So how long we've been working for? Like an hour now. We've done a logo, we've done our business card, we've done our Facebook cover page, we've got some stuff for Instagram, we've got some adverts. Once again, if I want all these adverts, Facebook advert, I can resize them back here to Instagram post. There it is. Copy and resize. Something wrong there. There's everything in InstaSize. That's that one that I added by mistake.
Does it create a new file or a new picture totally?
New file has got its new heading to say their Instagram post, so I can just rename it there.
Do you need to save it before you resize it, or does it automatically save?
The lovely thing about Canva is that it's constantly saving. It's a game changer for me that I don't have to save anything, even if the power goes off or I lose something. It's always there. So there isn't actually a save button. That's the really weird thing. Because as you're making changes, it's saving.
So when you download, what is it actually doing? It's downloading to?
Downloading whatever you want into the format you want. So once again, then it downloads to your computer, not to. So what I could now do is I could go to my folder, go to my folder called Gadget Stores, and then I could open some of those. See where those adverts were. I could now load these in here so that I can save them in the same place. So they're now saved as images. But the really nice thing is if I go to my home page, I just want to refresh my home page for you. If we go to recent designs, which are popping up here, everything that we've been working on. Go to recent designs. These pictures will appear. Just take from the logo to the store card, landscape, to the card, to the cover. Everything that I've worked on is here in its own little folder. I can look through them. I can say, okay, this is the one I want to use. It's so neat, fast, easy. Everything you want's there. So please remember,
that's on their server.
It's on their server, yes.
Yeah.
And there is a limit to how much you want. On your free account, I think you've got 5 gigs. And on your paid account, you have about 500 gigs. So that would be the only thing that you might want to look at. I just want to show you one little fun thing that I do also like to do with images. I'm just going to create a new design here quickly. Just create a Facebook post because it's a nice size. There's a fun little thing that people are doing more and more of right now, which is to do kind of cutouts and overlays. So I'm just going to quickly find you a photo. Yoga. I want to have a clear background. There's a woman doing, what's that nice pose where they have their hands above their heads? Or for example, even this one I could do. I could use this one, for example. Now, let's say this is my yoga studio logo. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my elements, box. Let's say this one over here. There. People are doing like really strange stuff like this at the moment. So they're taking that, for example, and then Control C, Control V. I'm duplicating the image. I'm putting the image right over the other one. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to cut away part of the image. So now it looks like her arm is passing through that frame. You'll see more and more stuff like that appearing. You'll see guys doing it on a lot of it on Instagram, where they show 2 half Instagram posts and something connecting the 2 of them. But have fun, play with Canva. There's so many of these very, very different things you can do. I use that effect. I just want to show you in my recent designs. Close that over there. I use that same effect to create these. They're just multiple images built on top of each other. You'll see there's all sections to them. For me, this one works really nicely with a hand kind of boxing out of the glove. You could do it with your products. You can do it if you're teaching a skill. There are just, unfortunately, it takes hours and hours and hours to teach little things at a time, but there are so many of them. Play with them, watch videos. Quickly just go to YouTube. Tell you who I really do like on YouTube if you want to keep an eye on them. It's Romy. Where's Romy? And you'll see there are just so many of these guys over here. Design with Canva. They are actually paid by Canva to create these videos. They make 2 videos every single week. You can create easy text animations, animated GIFs, letter portraits, how to build your website. If there's something that you're struggling with, come to these guys and have a look. There's their search. So, for example, people do struggle a lot with video. How to make a video montage, how to create videos with animations in Canva, how to deal with video in Canva, how to create Canva. And I promise you, if you've thought about it, how to create these little white backgrounds that go around people. It's also like kind of a funky thing you're seeing at the moment. So let's go back to this one. So let's get rid of the box, get rid of this half image. So what I'm going to do once again, Control C, Control V. I'm going to work with this image over here, the front one. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than her, and I want to center it. There we go. Now I'm going to go to Edit Image, and I'm going to go look for an effect. Where's the color effects? There are duotone effect. See all. Give it a nice amber color. Change it to amber. Go behind the other one. Oh, I think I changed them both. No, I didn't. Position. Position. Things messing me around. Let's just take it all away. X, which is cut. The other one, get that kind of effect. Look at this one up here. I can also go to Edit Image. And I can adjust the blur. There's the blur. Let's give this a nice colored background, like a nice black so it stands out. So there are just a multitude of things, little tricks you'll learn as you go along. As I always tell people, you're welcome to copy me at any time you like. Sorry, contact me at any time you like, just for fun. Here's my business card. There's my WhatsApp. There's my email address. If you get stuck, please just send me a message. I'm only too happy to help. If you don't get an automatic response, it's because I'm very busy. But if you send me a voice note, you will never get a response. So please don't. Those things drive me completely insane. But please feel free to contact me. I'm only here to help you. I hope this lesson, I can see we're kind of already on 11:45. I'm going to open it to questions now before I move on. I think we've got through a lot. As I say, today has been advanced. This is not for people who are opening Canva for the very first time. And once again, I highly recommend that you look at Canva Pro because of these unbelievable advantages like resizing, like background remover, and like exporting transparent PNGs. I'll open it to any questions. Tracy?
I am here, Mark. Are there any questions for Mark before we close off today? There was one in the chat box. Laura said she wanted to know if you want to remove a background plus one element of the picture. If you could please just demonstrate again how you will do that.
So I'm going to just create a Facebook post just because I like that size. And I'm going to go and find that same photo that we used. If I go to photos, at the top, I will find recent found. They'll come up first, so I don't even have to go and search. There it is. I'm going to pop that in there. And the question was, can we make changes to it? So the first thing I'm going to do is click on it, press Edit Image, go to Background Remover, wait for Canva to do its magic. And then you'll see here, there's a button called Erase and Restore. So I'm going to hit the Erase button. I'm going to decide on the size of my brush. And I'm going to remove very carefully. It's not Photoshop. There we go. Then I'm going to click the Done button. And there I have it. So Laura, I hope that answers your question. You can make certain changes. Sometimes what will happen with the background is that it'll either add something you didn't want or it might remove something that you didn't. So I can actually go back to the restore and then I can restore. But the problem when I restore now is it's actually restoring the background as well. You can see it's not, I can't just get it to restore that little bit that I wanted. So, just be careful. Think about it when you do it. I assume you all know that Control Z takes you back one step and Shift Control Z takes you forward. You can just work backwards. I'm busy restoring the stuff that I had before. So it's not. For example, if I really wanted to do something, the cutout is brilliant. I'm actually completely amazed at how good it is and what it can do with a single picture. Let me just go back here and remove. Just press done. Remove that. Find just an arbitrary picture. So here, for example, just a picture of a lady. And what I'm going to do here is I'm also going to go Edit Image, and I'm going to go Background Remover. Canva do its thing.
Laura missed how to tilt the picture. Could you please demonstrate that again?
Sure. So I just want to show you how good that cutout is. That's an absolutely brilliant cutout. I can put it in the bottom there. I can go back to photos. There's photos. I can do beach. Find a beach background. Set images background. I've changed the image completely. And also do is I can click on her, I can go to edit image, and I can come all the way down here to shadow. There's shadows. Even put a drop shadow on her. Offset it by a little bit more. I can change the angle. I can make it from the top or the bottom. More. Blur it. I can change the transparency. So there's a lot of things you can do. Now, let's just remove that one and let's have a surf. There's a surfboard. There's a surfboard cutout. There it is. I want to rotate it. First of all, there's a simple rotation like that. If I want to change its, if I want to flip it, there's a flip button up there. So I can flip it horizontally, or I can flip it vertically, or I can move it around. So I can take that image there. This is a really good one because I've did a bit too much with it. Let me just find you another one that might work better for us. Umbrella. There's a beach umbrella. Put that one up there in the corner. It's not a beach umbrella, my apologies, a rain umbrella. Control C, Control V to duplicate, or click on it, up there, top right hand, duplicate button. There's the duplicate button. Hit the flip button and flip it on the horizon. I've now got two umbrellas kind of facing each other. Line them up, even touch them if I want exactly. Touch them in the middle. Do to create an effect. I hope that answered the question about the tilt and shift. Once again, if I don't like the tilt, then I just tilt it by doing that. Z, go back to where it was, flick it around. Done, Laura? Any other questions?
Nothing in the chat, Matt.
Anyone struggling with how to save or what to save or where to save?
You just can you go through that download and where it saves it and then how you upload it? Just exactly where it goes from stage to stage.
With pleasure. So for example, here's my business card and I want to download my business card. Now I can do one of two things. I can use my business card as part of my website. So I'll actually remove the background. And I'm now going to download it as a PNG with a transparent background. So I'm now going to download that. As I hit download, you'll see it says download here. And it will appear on the bottom of most browsers nowadays, which means I can just simply click on it and show in folder.
That's on our download on our hard drive.
Yes, now it's downloaded on the hard drive. Right.
Okay.
Now I actually want to use this in another design. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag it, put my mouse on it, hold it down, and I'm going to drag it anywhere in this bar. As soon as I go there, it'll say, drop to upload your file.
So that's uploading to the server.
Yes, now it's on the server. Exactly. Now it's on the server.
Where was it before? Before you downloaded
it? On my computer. It's sitting on my computer in my downloads file.
No, but I'm saying, before you downloaded it, when you called it onto the screen, Where was it then? Was it on the server already?
On Canva server, yes. Sitting on Canva server as a project, not as anything.
Not as an upload.
Not as an upload.
Okay.
That's why right now I could make any changes I wanted. It's still completely editable for me.
Okay.
So now that I've got it there, what I could do is I can go to, let's say I want to create a Facebook, let's say I want to create a presentation, which is same size as a desktop wallpaper. There's desktop wallpaper. Or let's say I want to create a background for one of these talks I'm going to be doing at Ort. I'll go to my photos. I'll look for studio. I've created the background behind me right now. Studio. Find a studio. Set images background. Go to my uploads. That's what I uploaded. Because my writing's all black, what I really want to do is actually find a lighter studio. So I'm just going to remove that. Go back to images, photos, studio, set images background. There we go. I can now export this. I can download it as a PNG file, which I can then save. Let's do that for you quickly. There's a PNG file, download. I've saved that. There it is, untitled export. There. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come to Canva. I need to stop sharing screens for a second. I don't want to stop sharing screens. I want to speaker view, gallery, double click. Where's my, oh, it's this thing here. Sorry, excuse me. Let me bring you this thing over here. Now I can come here. I can go to my video. Go to choose virtual background, and I can background and filters, press the add image button, go to my downloads where I know it's saved. There it is. Double click on that. There we go. I've now got my own studio. I assume that you can see this already.
Yeah.
That my background has changed.
Yes, Mark.
So that's how easy it is for you to even change your own backgrounds. I don't enjoy these virtual backgrounds because of this effect where the hands move. It's one of the reasons why I don't use backgrounds and filters or even use blur. Behind me is a screen that I've created. If you look around my house, there are 3 different ones. So if I'm doing, I built these things myself, little wooden frames, printed them out of the print shop, hang them behind me. I've got one with a restaurant scene. I've got one with a diner scene. So depending on my audience, I then choose the background that I want. Another thing I do when I do this is I don't use my webcam. I use something called eSoft RV Cam, and I have an old iPhone in front of me over here. That also means that I can, for example, zoom in or zoom out. There you can actually see my background. It's kind of better. So that's just little tricks that you can learn along the way. Yeah, I think that's kind of me, ladies and gentlemen. As I say, if you'd like to contact me.
So for those of you that want to get in touch with Mark, there are his details, which he has shared on the screen. Please, no voice messages, and he will respond as soon as he can. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us this morning. Before we close off, please stay tuned for the upcoming webinars with Mike Sade, Business Bootcamp, and sorting through the digital clutter. Mark, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to share this morning with you. I've learned so much about cutouts and duplicates, and I suppose we all just really need to practice as much as we can to get to a phase where our work is our art. Before we close,
before you go, what I often tell people is that the first design you do is going to use a really nice choice South African word. The first design you do is probably going to be cuck. But the second design you do is going to be a little less cuck, and then a little less cuck. Then they'll become good. Then eventually they'll become great. But the trick is actually to design plenty, to play, to mess around, to just have fun.
And practice makes perfect. So we'd like to